Hey, ladies, welcome to the Single Moms United podcast. This podcast has been developed to motivate and encourage the single mom. It's not how you arrived at the title, but what you do with it. I'm here to offer tips, suggestions, and resources on topics that can possibly incorporate into your life to improve your single parenting skills. I recognize these topics are not a one-size-fits-all, but can fit most. It's designed to get you thinking about your approach to single motherhood, possibly giving you an aha moment. Today's episode is about celebrating you. When was the last time you celebrated you? Did you know we need to acknowledge the small achievements in life? Normally, people acknowledge the large accomplishments such as graduations, weddings, or job promotions, just to name a few. However, we don't have to wait to acknowledge grand achievements, but we can acknowledge the small successes. And that's what I want to talk about today. Here's an example of how you can achieve this. Create a proud chart. The chart doesn't have to be extravagant. It can literally be a piece of paper or a whiteboard on your refrigerator door. For instance, as a single mom, we have a tendency to raise our voice with our kids. I know I used to. And maybe you have a goal of getting results from your children without raising your voice, and were able to successfully accomplish it. Again, your achievement doesn't have to be grand, but recognizing you have the ability to turn a negative into a positive. Keep in mind, both of those words have the same number of letters, meaning the same energy to say them. That's an accomplishment. That is a proud moment for you. And not only is it a proud moment for you, but you can teach your children and helping them create their own proud chart. This is a way of setting personal goals for yourself and turning your attitude into gratitude. We go through life thinking people owe us something instead of being thankful for what we have. I know when I used to interview, I always thanked the interviewer personally for the opportunity because I knew there were many more qualified candidates. But they allowed me an opportunity to interview for the role. I know they tell you to send a thank you email after the interview, but honestly, I don't think it does justice like a face-to-face thank you. You're able to read body language, make eye contact, and this allows the interviewer to see your sincerity versus doing a follow-up email, which they're not going to read. Just going to be perfectly candid there because I also sat on the other side of the table and I've gotten many thank you emails. I'm just being transparent here. And unfortunately, they just sat in the inbox. Well, another proud moment can include modifying a bad habit or bad behavior. Many people recognize Lent during Easter or New Year's, saying a fresh start, I'm giving up something. We don't have to wait until a certain time of the year to do better. I know for myself, I'm pretty authentic. And when I say authentic, if someone asks me my opinion about something, well, I'm going to be honest, and sometimes it can be pretty raw. But I am doing better to dial it back and respond in a better manner while still expressing my true thoughts. Now, the person may be less offended, and I'm truly not trying to offend people, but because I worked on my response style. Now, I think before I share my response, or before I will say my filter was broken. As a result, I can add this change to my proud moment list. It's never my intention to hurt anyone's feelings, so now that I know I can present it better, I try. And when I'm successful, it goes on the list. And I'm proud about that because I am trying to be a better person. And see, most folks don't even know that this is on my list or my to-do list to do better. And so when I personally acknowledge it and I put it on my proud list, guess what? I can reflect back on that I was able to achieve this. The proud chart also provides a reminder on those bad days, and Lord knows we have them. Plus, all the negativity going on now. Mass shootings seems like every other day. The war, COVID is still running rampant. Inflation, the cost of gas, $5 a gallon, my goodness. And now heat. Having this chart available allows us to reflect back on our proud moments and just kind of moves all of that negativity to the side. And it allows us to smile in spite of everything that's going on. Learning how to encourage ourselves and not wait for others to do it. I'm sure you know waiting on others can result in a disappointment because it may never come, or if it does come, it has to be some sort of extraordinary event for someone to say, hey, I'm proud of you. Congratulations. One of the greatest phrases I've ever heard is, I'm proud of you. And it came from my mom after I graduated from college. And then she put a comma behind it and said, your dad will be proud of you too. Wow. Wow. Ladies, I cannot tell you what that done for me. It sent me to the moon to hear my mom express this. It meant so much more than the diploma ever did. So that's a proud moment. So where am I going with this? The phrase, I'm proud of you, is such a powerful phrase. Not just for you, but for your children. You know, as you go through life and you're trying to accomplish things, you can look in the mirror and say, I'm proud of you. You can do that. And I recommend you do that. And I know you're saying, are you crazy? Sometimes. But in this instance, we're looking in the mirror at ourselves anyway. So why not go ahead and just add the phrase, hey, you did this. Okay. And add it to your list. Yeah, you can do that. Because I find myself talking to myself anyway. So why not encourage myself? I'm just saying in my out loud voice. Now, when my kids were growing up, I can honestly say I never told my kids I was proud of them, at least not verbally. And I never knew how to verbally express how proud I was of them until later in life. And some of you ladies are probably like me. While you express it in other ways, you don't necessarily verbally express it to your children that you're proud of them. And here's the good news. You can change and start expressing this on a regular basis. So that goes back to our proud chart, right? Start documenting these moments. They don't have to be significant, but just start jotting them down. Again, it's going to take your relationship with your child so much further when you start incorporating that phrase. Now, again, nobody's perfect, and I'm always sharing with you my imperfections and hope that you will say, you know what, it's okay, and I like that idea, and it makes sense, and I'm going to try it. And again, if you don't think it makes sense, that's fine too, right? But again, this podcast is designed to encourage and motivate you and get you thinking differently in some of your approaches to single parenting. So again, don't wait until some grand accomplishment to occur before you acknowledge it with your child or your children. Maybe the chore you gave them. They did it right the first time. Hallelujah. So you would want to incorporate. Great job. I'm proud of you. And this would definitely be in order. And that's exactly how it's done. And again, that would mean so much more than you giving them a couple of dollars or taking them out to ice cream, because mom is proud. It also opens the communication door, meaning your child may feel more comfortable now with coming to you to discuss certain situations that they may not have been before because of how you approach them. And again, if you're like me, you were raising your voice and so forth to try to get things done. And so they viewed you in a different light. But now what you have done is created a balance of positive and negative communication and an approach to that. So ladies, create that proud chart for yourself and your children. Update it daily, weekly. Just do it frequently to encourage and motivate everyone to keep going and not get discouraged, especially now with so much going on. You should be your number one fan for you and your children, because that's what it's all about. Hey, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I look forward to bringing you another episode next week. If you enjoyed today's episode, please share with another single mom. I hope you all have a fantastic day and a fantastic week. Take care.